Thank you, Des Moines Register. Hey, Iowa! It is a great day to be out here. Now, we got a little bit of a crew with us today, and so I want to say thank you for everybody who brought your crew out. We're going to make this fun. We're going to make it engaging. But I want to start by saying thank you very much to, first of all, the Iowa State Fair, the Des Moines Register, and to my family for spending time with me on this. Everybody knows the hardest job in politics, being married to somebody who's in politics. So, God bless. Kelly, my incredible wife. Yeah! Thanks, Carol. Now, the one leading the charges here with 4-H is our oldest, Olympia. Olympia, what did you show at the county fair this year to get state?
A ram and a Persian cat.
Pro-American Persian cat, right?
Yeah.
Ruthie cat. So, this is, you're saying, what did you show at the state fair this year?
A sheep and a goat.
And how about you, Jamie?
Ruth and a sheep and a goat.
I know, you were busy, girl. Elliot, you want to stand up here, girl? What did you show?
I showed a sheep and a goat and a cat.
And did you just have a birthday this past week? How old did you turn?
6 and 6.
6 and almost 7. Almost 7, guys. Well, hey, team, I want to say thank you for spending a little bit of time with me. My name is Nunn. I am privileged to get to serve the 3rd District of Iowa. As a combat veteran, we have flown all over the world. We've done 700 combat hours in Afghanistan, Iraq. I've served off the coast of both China and Russia. But most importantly, thank you for your service and to all the veterans who are out here today for Veterans Week. Now, guys, during this tour of duty, serving in Iowa, my family, I, and so many of you here today have been out across all 21 counties. We've heard at nearly 500 listening sessions how important priorities are for Iowa. And like any good military commander, we're taking your priorities, building a battle plan, and executing. Here is our intent. Not only do we aim to deliver, we aim to deliver what you've asked for. So let me tell you a little bit about the stories that I've heard across Iowa. One, do you have the opportunity to actually build generational wealth? And that starts with being able to buy a home. We were just out the first day of the fair, and I heard from somebody who is 65, and they have their daughter living in their basement. She's 25 years old, no fault of her own, she's worked hard, she's done everything right. But as this mother shared with me, she doesn't want her daughter living in her basement until she's 40. We all love our kids, but at some point, they gotta leave the nest. The reality here is that's the average age now for an American to be able to buy their first home. 40 years old. It doesn't have to be like this, and it wasn't always like this. That's one of the reasons that we worked so hard across the aisle to be able to deliver for Iowans. In fact, this time last year, I invited a Democrat member of Congress to join me at the Iowa State Fair. His name, Emanuel Cleaver. And he came all the way up and joined us right here because together we led the rural housing bill to make a once-in-a-lifetime generational change for Iowa families, for Americans to be able to buy their first home. And I'm proud to say, with the Democrat support, we were able to pass it. Drive down the cost of housing by nearly 30% with our efforts, upscale so that rural America could have the opportunity for a home, and by God, we got that done this summer. So thank you very much. Now team, I'm privileged. Just last week, they called me out as being one of the top 3 most bipartisan members of Congress. We've been able to pass 3 bills and get them signed into law under Joe Biden. And I don't always agree with Joe Biden on very much. But we also passed 27 bills signed into law under President Trump. They were all the reflection of our hard work here. And most importantly, we've been able to pass 95 bills through the House of Representatives. Here's why this is important. It's not about the bipartisan tagline. It's about being able to do what we've always done in the military, what each of us do for our families. Come up with a plan, work hard, deliver. So let's talk about some of the things we've been able to deliver based on your good feedback. First and foremost, we want to make sure that healthcare in Iowa continues to be not only available, but available in the communities that we know. I was just in Wayne County. I can see the sheriff here with me right now. We were there earlier this week. And you know, here's a little rural hospital working hard to keep its doors open. And I was so privileged to sit down as soon as I got there in a listening session, and a nurse came up to me. She said, "Congressman Nunn, I think you may have saved my father. He's got dialysis." He was 11th in line to be seen at the dialysis center at the Wayne County Hospital. 3 times a week, we were driving back and forth to Des Moines. The man's 70 years old. I don't know that he can keep doing this. It's one of the reasons we committed to bringing $50 billion to rural hospitals across the country. In Iowa, we got first dibs. $209 million coming to our state. And we went even further with Wayne. In Wayne County alone, we invested another $2 million to double the size of that dialysis center so that her father, that nurse, was able to get the care they needed right there in Wayne County. This is a huge step forward. Guys, we know this. We have fought hard to make sure that water quality, cancer research, the ability to take care of Iowans is top priority for us. I've heard it from you, and we've delivered. Here's the reality. In Wayne County alone, we brought $32 million through a special appropriation to be able to develop a rural healthcare cancer screening and cancer treatment facility. So that not just the folks in Wayne County, but across rural and southern Iowa have resources right there in their neighborhood that can screen for cancer and then treat that cancer if they came into contact with it. Look, my mom is a survivor. I know that it has touched all of us, our family, our friends. Being able to take care of it on our turf with our solutions is a huge step forward. We just needed Washington to listen to us. I'm glad, working together, we delivered. Now, one of the things that we talk a lot about here is if we can grow it here, if we can build it here, if we can keep it here, America is going to be in the driver's seat for a long time to come. And we do very good at this, don't we, guys? The #1 in corn, #1 in hogs. We're right up there on soybean, and God bless, every 4 years, we grow a crop of presidential contenders who like to stop by this very stage. Iowa outkicks its coverage. So when it comes to agriculture, we said, America, it's time for you to look at a state like Iowa for solutions. And we began this by passing $66 billion for our farmers to make sure that they can make sure that the next year's crop isn't something that just happens once every 12 months, but that happens for every generation coming forward. Guys, I'm so proud to have led in the Farm Bill more provisions than any other member of Congress. That's everything from making sure a young and beginning farmer gets the tax credits they need to help take over the family farm so that a family farm can stay in a family. Guys, it's things that we learned from great leaders like Terry Branstad, our governor, when we went forward and we built rural broadband. Our bill in there makes sure that not only precision ag can be successful, but that every rural community, whether you're working from home as a small business owner, or whether you just want to watch the last season of Landman, you've got the high-speed broadband you deserve. Guys, we made sure that there's things in there like high water quality, and we put it in all 21 counties so we can fight both droughts, floods, and nitrates that are harming our communities. When we get ahead of this with empirical information, we have real solutions we can go after. Another $500,000 we were able to execute on this. And team, I think this is really important as we march forward. We stood up for what we grow here. Look, I'll be the first to say, when it came to things like biofuels, Washington has told Iowa the same answer time and time again. Wait. Now, I can talk to any farmer in this crowd today, and they'll say, I don't need another study. I don't need another review. I don't need to wait to know how good biofuels are for this country. What we grow here, year-round nationwide E15. What we grow here, 45Z, agro-biofuels for diesel. What we grow here not only helps reduce the cost for a mom filling up her minivan by up to 50 cents per gallon, it makes sure that we're never dependent on Iran or Russia for another gallon of gasoline when we do it here. Now, guys, I can talk about how this helps our farmers. It brings $20 billion to our state. But most importantly, it helps America be successful. We decouple from bad actors, but equally, we are able to grow, build, and produce right here in Iowa. Now, friends, we've worked very hard. And I will say this, it is a privilege to get to serve, but one of the things I hear most from our 500 listening sessions are things that you, as Iowans, want to see Washington do. And the good news is, we've got a pretty good playbook right here in Iowa on how to do it right. Many of you in this room, when I came back from my deployment, helped me run for my first office. Granted, it was a blue district, and they told us we could never win. But with a lot of hard work, we did. 3 times over. And as a result of that, we started delivering on things that matter to Iowans. Like, hey, just let me keep a little more of my hard-earned money in my pocket. Because I'll tell you what Iowans do with it. They spend it on their families. They spend it on their farm, they spend it on their businesses, but most importantly, they invest right here. That's how you grow an economy. So we took what we did in the Iowa State Legislature by passing the largest tax cut in Iowa's history, and we went straight to Washington and did the same thing. The largest tax cut in American history. But more than that, it's meaningful tax cuts. It means that every family is going to get $3,000 back. It means, thank you, Gary. It means that everybody, like Erica, we're going to cross the street here, gets to keep more of her tax dollars that she then gets to spend on being able to finish community college. It means that our great law enforcement and our first responders and our nurses up the street get to keep the money they've earned on overtime. Working a double shift for them means that's helping directly pay for their family, not bleed that money out to Washington. And guys, you know we've got a great blended family here. And going through that process, having some amazing young ladies with me who've educated me, we invested to make sure that everybody who wants to foster and adopt gets a $5,000 tax credit, because it shouldn't be that you have to pay so much just to adopt, you can't afford to have a family. We're doing the same with IVF, and we're doing the same with making sure more kiddos get the help they need. Guys, I'm proud of what we've been able to do, but I will highlight this. It's not easy. You know this. Together, we brought nearly $200 million back to Iowa. That's money we went in front of an appropriations committee and advocated each one of you could do better than folks in Washington. Now here's a huge part of this. With E15, with the Farm Bill, and with others, we've had to fight our own leadership. In fact, I really respect Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. But there was a time where they were going to try and roll Iowans on this, where they were going to tell us again, Iowa, just wait. Well, we didn't take no for an answer. Not only did we hold our vote, we fought back. We held them accountable for what they promised us, and we delivered the first time ever, year-round, nationwide, E15 in Washington, D.C. And the Senate can do the same. Guys, one of the things that I think I'm most proud about here is being able to say there are solutions that come out of Washington that need to listen to Iowa a lot more. And when it comes to things like healthcare, Washington too often has said, we have, when it comes to Washington, they say either we're going to take it over or we're going to take your money. And the times Washington gets really clever, they say we're going to do both. And on too many things, the federal government has tried to take over what we do so well here in Iowa, or take our money to try and execute with it. And we've been able to say not only no, but we've shown a better path. So one of the things that I'm committed to is making sure we're holding Washington accountable to the same standards that all of us here in Iowa want. We voted multiple times for it, and I agree with you, brother. We also had 5 years under the Biden administration to do it. That's right. The other aspect of this, I will say, of the things that we have, USA on it, brother. USA on it. That's right. The USA saves the day. Guys, here's what I want to highlight to us here. We have the opportunity to stand up to Washington and hold them accountable. Look, I led the charge when it came to being able to stop members of Congress from just trading stock. And let me tell you why this is a good reason. In fact, I'll give you 200 million reasons why this is good. That's how much money people in Washington were making off of trading stock. Not spending time in their districts, but day trading for their own profit. And here's the reality. When Washington spends more time making themselves rich, they spend less time taking care of the country. Now, a lot of people talk about this, Gary, but very few people deliver on it. We had to stand up to our own leadership in Washington. We had to stand up to folks who said they were going to support it. But the reality is when the bill came to the floor, all of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, guess how they voted? Absolutely against it. Now, I'll say this. I'm proud that my opponent here finally agrees with me. Let's ban stock trading in Congress. In fact, she agrees with me so much she's run a commercial on it. She also had a bill that lasted about 3 days before she realized, oh, it failed. Not a single member supporting her legislation. It's one thing to say something. It's another thing to deliver. 27 bills in a bipartisan fashion. Check the tally score on what she's passed. Guys, when it comes to taking care of our kids, there's no one who supports more not only parental choice, but making sure when this little one plays in a sport, she gets to play fairly. And when this one goes into the locker room, it's a locker room for girls. This is a common sense approach. But team, here's the reality. We've fought for it, we've delivered it, we've voted for it. Check the other side of the ledger, my friends. They can say all they want, including my opponent running a commercial on it. But at the end of the day, go check her vote, you'll know exactly where she stands. Team, the reality is this. We have been able to deliver because we work together on good policies, policies that 80% of us support, but none more important than our national security. I stood on this stage last year at this time, and I made a commitment that we were going to be working with both the administration but also local law enforcement to protect our borders. Let's not forget, 2 years ago when I spoke on this very stage, I'm proud to be one of the only Republicans who shows up for this every single year, we had tens of millions of illegals coming into the country with no documentation whatsoever. They harmed our workforce, they harmed our families, and they brought in so much fentanyl, it was the #1 cause of death for folks my age down to my daughter's age. It never had to be this way. And so I am proud that we have worked to be able to provide the most secure border in American history. Friends, know this. This does not just happen. This is the result of hard work day one at the federal level, with our state, and most importantly with all of you. Every one of the ideas that you guys have been able to put forward for us, we have worked hard to change into good legislation coming out of Washington. And every time we've seen Washington not delivering for us, we have fought back. Whether it's a Democrat, a Republican, or the Washington institution, we've delivered. I can't do it without your support. Each of you is part of our wingman team. Each of you gets to have a voice for Iowa. And by any standard, let's send folks to Washington who put Iowa first. I'm honored to fight with you. We're going to see you soon. Thank you, guys. Privilege being out here. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys. You want to say thanks? One, two, three. Fight for Iowa. USA! USA! USA!